Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Rice and I help family photographers gain a life of financial freedom through thriving photography business. Today I'm really excited because I'm sharing my tips and tricks for planning out Instagram content. Let's jump in. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video so that other photographers just like you are able to find it easier, and hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every time a new video goes live. Now, before we get too far, I wanted to let you guys know about a free class that I have just for y'all that is all about posing. This class is the 6 keys to effective family posing, and in there I walk you through the steps to take you from awkward and stiff posing to real, genuine, authentic moments they are able to capture with ease. So it's linked below if you want to check that out and give it a watch. It's completely free, and the best part is you're able to use the stuff that you learn from the posing class in your very next photo session. I know that it'll be helpful for you, so for sure, be sure to check that out. Okay, planning Instagram content. This can be a struggle. I don't know about you, but it for sure doesn't come naturally to me. And so I had to come up with a really solid system to be able to plan out Instagram content in a way that wasn't frustrating for me, because I have honestly a love-hate relationship with social media. I'm not naturally gifted in social media. I don't love social media. And so if you're like me, then we're in this together, and hopefully the tips that I've kind of gathered over the years will be helpful for you too. So the very first thing that I want to mention is it's really helpful to get some kind of system in place, some kind of like scheduling software or whatnot. My favorite, I've tried several, and my favorite right now is Plann, P-L-A-N-N. And it's just got a beautiful interface. It's really easy to use. It's got some really, really cool features. But use whatever system works for you. You know, Planoly's great. There's a few others. Or if you want like a free option, you can even make like a Trello board to plan out your content. But however it is that you do it, I highly suggest getting something so that you can schedule out your content with ease. And I will mention that Plann does have a free option, so you can go ahead and check that out for sure. So when I'm planning out my content, the very first thing that I always do is I curate my feed. So I pull a bunch of images from photo sessions that I've had lately, and I make my grid look really pretty, because as photographers, our grid matters. Like, it matters what it looks like, because potential clients are coming to your Instagram feed, and most of the time they're looking at the feed as a whole, not necessarily individual posts. So I want my feed as a whole to look cohesive and consistent and just to really flow well together. So I actually have a whole video where I walk through how I curate a feed in real time, so you can listen to why I, pull certain photos and put them in certain places. That is found inside Behind the Lens, my membership for family photographers. So I'll link that below if you want to check it out. And I promise it is so worth it. It's so helpful for you. So that'll walk through how to curate a feed. Now, after you curate your feed, you pull a bunch of images and make it look nice and pretty, the next step from there is to decide how often you want to post. Now, Instagram really rewards consistency. And so the thing to note is consistency doesn't have to mean posting every single day. Consistency is whatever you decide it looks like. So decide how often you want to post each week and then stick to that. If you're like, Rebecca, I feel like I can only post 2 or 3 times a week at max, that's fine. Set that and say, I'm going to post 2 times a week or 3 times a week. If you feel like, you know what, I feel like I could do Monday through Friday, I could post, or, 5 times a week, something like that, then that's great too. Whatever it is, decide on how often you want to post. That way you can kind of like fill in the blanks of what needs to go where. So from there, you're gonna wanna look at what content are you already creating. So things like blogs, if you blog your photo sessions, what blogs are going live that week? You can think about if you give sneak peeks for your photo sessions, okay, what days do you want the sneak peeks to go live? Things like that. So take a look at what you're already putting out, because those are the pieces that you're gonna wanna put in first. If I know that I have a photo session blog going live on Wednesday, and that on Monday I want to give a sneak peek for the session over the weekend, then those are 2 days that I already know what I'm going to post. On Monday, I'm posting some kind of sneak peek photo, and on Wednesday, I'm posting something about the photo session that went live on the blog. So that is really easy to then go in and type in whatever your caption is for each of those. And like for the photo session, you can type your caption and put like a placeholder photo so that once you have the sneak peek, you can just plug it in and it's ready to go. For the blog, you should already have the photo for the blog, so it's really easy to schedule a post and type up a caption about like, hey, go read my blog. Okay, so from there, we are gonna decide on 3 to 5 content buckets. And basically a content bucket is just something that you want to talk about consistently. So a few examples of content buckets could be your client experience, right? What are some pieces of your client experience that you want potential clients to know about? Maybe it's certain emails that they're going to get, or the fact that you provide some kind of style guide or client experience guide, or whatever that looks like. You can talk all about the client experience as its own bucket. Another bucket that you could have is maybe frequently asked questions. So things that whenever people are emailing back and forth or they're thinking about booking, what questions do they ask? Things like, can I bring my dog to my photo session? Or, hey, what kind of props should I bring to this birthday session or whatever? So frequently asked questions is a really good content bucket. And then things that just like speak to you. So you can have like a personal content bucket just about you and your family. Maybe you have a content bucket encouraging moms where every, once a week or something like that, you have a post that goes out just encouraging your clients to have a great week. Maybe you're like me and you love homeschooling. So a content bucket could be about homeschooling. It doesn't have to be related to photography, because it's helpful to remember that people want to know the person behind the camera just as much as they want to see your pretty pictures, maybe even more. And so it's important to mix in a couple of like personal things in your content buckets. But once you decide your 3 to 5 content buckets, the next step is we start filling in the gaps in our content schedule with those content buckets. So let's go back to our example. We knew that Monday we're doing a sneak peek and Wednesday we have a photo session. Let's say you're wanting to post 3 times a week. So we only need one more post on Friday. You can say, okay, what content bucket do I want to use this week? Maybe it's client experience, goes on Friday. So the following week, you would do a frequently asked question. And then the following week, you would do a something personal or something about homeschooling or whatever. So you can decide how you want to do it. So that's like a 3 times a week. And if you have, you're doing 5 posts a week, okay, so then Tuesdays could be your client experience day, Thursday could be your frequently asked question, and Friday could be your personal, post. Maybe you're doing a Friday introduction or talking about your family or whatever it looks like. So we're filling in the gaps with our content buckets. And it's really important to remember that your caption doesn't have to match your image, because remember we curated that in the beginning. And so I would say maybe if you're talking about, an introduction, it would be helpful to have a photo of yourself. So keep that in mind. But aside from that, you can talk about client experience with some random picture of, a little baby or whatever. It doesn't have to coordinate necessarily. And the biggest piece to remember is to make that caption really helpful. The purpose of the photo is to stop people scroll. The purpose of the caption is to help educate your client, or to answer questions that they may have, or to hit objections or reasons that they may not have booked a session yet. You can do that all in that post. So from there, you just fill in the blanks with however you want to schedule your content, however often, stay consistent, and just fill it in. So if you're using something like Plan, like I mentioned, then you're able to really easily see, okay, I've done this post and this post, this one's missing. And so you can decide which content bucket you want to go there, and it makes it easy from there. So maybe you like to schedule out things, by the day, or maybe you're like me and you'd rather batch everything, where I pick like one day to be my social media day for the month, and I'll batch the entire month of content in one day. And it doesn't take too long, like it's not gonna take 8 hours to do it, but then I don't have to think about it for the rest of the month. And the system that I use, Plan, it will auto post for me so that I don't have to think about it, and it just makes the process so much simpler. So I hope this helps to kind of simplify the process, make it a little less overwhelming so that you can be more consistent with your social media posts. And if you have any questions about any of that, feel free to comment below, and I'd love to help however I can. So with that, we'll go ahead and sign off for today, and I'll see you back later for another video. Bye guys.